Welcome back to Character Conversions, where I try to bring fictional characters to life in D&D. Today is the Shadow Hokage of the Leaf Village, Danzo Shimura. Before we get started, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell. As always, you can find the character sheets for my builds on Patreon. For stats, we'll be using the standard array of the Player's Handbook divided up as you see here. Our three primary stats are Dexterity, Wisdom, and Intelligence, with our combat bonuses and DCs being spread between the three of them. Given his age and how he died from shuriken in one instance, his constitution should probably be the 8, but unless I was making this character as an NPC, I'd never do that. For race, Danzo is human, so variant human wouldn't be terrible here. Let's get a little creative here. As the leader of the Foundation, he does a lot of the dark and dirty deeds required to keep the Hidden Leaf Village safe. He's actually one of the closest we see that resembles how we think of ninjas in reality. Root is likely consistent of many of the dregs of society, tieflings, half-orcs, and even half-elves. Root would make use of everyone, so what's the best race to represent the Shadow Cabal's leader? Jadar Kai are elves native to the Shadowfell, and in some sources I've seen, they suggest that they draw lineage from ancient Netherese, making us perfect shadow versions of the founders of the Leaf, the Senju and the Uchiha, who are human and elves. This grants us a +2 bonus to Dexterity and a +1 to Constitution, raising them to 17 and 11 respectively. We gain Dark Vision out to 60 feet, Fey Ancestry gives us advantage against being charmed, and immunity to magical sleep effects. Rather than needing 8 hours to rest, we go into a trance for 4 hours. Keen Senses gives us proficiency with Perception, we have resistance to necrotic damage, and the Blessing of the Raven Queen allows us to once per long rest teleport 30 feet as a bonus action, and gain resistance to all damage until the start of our next turn. Finally, we speak and write Common and Elven as our languages. For background, to represent being a ninja, we'll be going with the criminal background, and just calling it ninja. This gives us proficiency with deception and stealth as skills, we have proficiency with one gaming set of our choice, and thieves' tools. For a feature, we gain criminal contact, giving us a liaison to the criminal underworld. For our class, we will be starting out with monk. This gives us a d8 hit die, proficiency with simple weapons and short swords. For saves, we have strength and dexterity, and our skill of choice will be acrobatics and insight. As a first level monk, we gain Unarmored Defense and Martial Arts. Unarmored Defense makes it so that our AC is now equal to 10 plus our Dex mod plus our Wisdom mod. Whereas Martial Arts makes it so we can use our Dex mod instead of our Strength for attack and damage rolls with unarmed strikes and monk weapons. Our damage with these weapons will be a d4 and increases our level does. Finally, when we take the attack action with an unarmed strike or a monk weapon on our turn, we can make an additional unarmed strike as a bonus action. Second level in Monk means we gain our Ki and Unarmored Movement. Unarmored Movement is a simple 10-foot bonus to our movement speed while unarmored and not wielding a shield, making our base speed 40 feet. Ki grants us Flurry of Blows, Patient Defense, and Step of the Wind. All three cost 1 Ki point to use and allow us to do the following. Flurry of Blows allows us to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action after we take the attack action. Patient Defense allows us to take the dodge action as a bonus action, and Step of the Wind allows us to take the disengage or dash action as a bonus and doubles our jump distance. At third level, we choose our monastic tradition. We'll be going with Way of the Long Death, not Way of Shadow. If you don't get it, this will make sense later. This grants us Touch of Death and Deflect Missiles. Touch of Death allows us to gain temporary hit points equal to our Wisdom modifier plus our monk level when we reduce a creature to 0 hit points. Finally, Deflect Missiles allows us to, as a reaction, reduce the damage of a ranged weapon attack by 1d10 plus our Dexterity modifier. If we reduce the damage to 0, we can spend 1 Ki to make a range attack with the ammunition against someone within 20 to 60 feet. At 4th level, we gain our first ability score improvement. We'll drop this into our Dexterity and Constitution, raising them to 18 and 12. Finally, we gain Slow Fall, allowing us to reduce falling damage as a reaction by our Monk level times 5, right now for a total of 20. 5th level in Monk grants us Extra Attack, Stunning Strike, and our Martial Arts die increases to 1d6. Extra Attack means when we take the attack action we can make 2 attacks instead of 1, and Stunning Strike means when we hit another creature with a melee attack we can spend 1 Ki to force them to make a Constitution saving throw, or be stunned until the end of our next turn. As a 6th level Way of Long Death Monk, we gain the Hour of Reaping. By taking an action, each creature within 30 feet of us must make a Wisdom save or be frightened of us until the end of our next turn. This is probably some kind of genjutsu related to all of our Sharingan. Ki Empowered Strikes makes it so our unarmed strikes count as magical for overcoming resistances and immunities. And finally, our Unarmored Movement increases to 15 feet, giving us a speed of 45 feet. At 7th level, we gain Evasion and Stillness of Mind. When making a Dex save for half damage, Evasion will allow us to take no damage if we succeed and half if we fail. Stillness of Mind will allow us to win the Charmed or Frightened conditions as an action on our turn. With all the Sharingan we collected, it would make sense for us to be resistant to mind-altering abilities. Plus, it's something you would probably need to lead an organization like Root. As an 8th level monk, we gain our next ability score improvement. We will drop this into our dexterity again, capping it off at 20. 9th level, we gain an improvement to unarmored movement, allowing us to move along vertical surfaces and across liquids on our turn, but we fall if we end our turn there. 10th level, Purity of Body makes it so we are immune to disease and poison, definitely something the leader of Root would want. Finally, our unarmored movement increases to 20 feet, giving us a speed of 50 feet. As an 11th level Way of Long Death monk, we gain Mastery of Death, or as we will call it, Izanagi. When we are reduced to 0 hit points, we can expend 1 ki point, no action required, at 1 hit point instead. With 11 ki points, we need to be killed 12 times. Convenient, since Danzo technically had 10 Sharingan in his arm and Shisui's eye. Finally, our martial arts die increases to 1d8. At 12th level, now that we have possibly our most prominent jutsu, we'll jump over to Wizard to start fleshing out our jutsu selection. As a wizard, we have a d6 hit die, 3 cantrips, 6 first level spells, and arcane recovery. For cantrips, let's pick up Friends, Create Bonfire, and Minor Illusion. Our first level spells will be Charm Person, Color Spray, Detect Magic, Find Familiar, Long Strider, and Shield. Finally, Arcane Recovery will allow us to recover spell slots that total our wizard level during a short rest, but none of them can be higher than 6th level. As a 2nd level wizard, we choose our Arcane Tradition. For Danzo, we'll be going with Enchantment to represent our use of our stolen Sharingan. This grants us Enchantment Savant and Hypnotic Gaze. Enchantment Savant will allow us to learn enchantment spells at half the cost, and Hypnotic Gaze allows us to, as an action, target a creature within 5 feet that can see and hear us and force them to make a wisdom save or be charmed by us until the end of our next turn. Their speed drops to 0 and they are incapacitated and visibly dazed. We can maintain this effect on subsequent turns with an action, so long as we remain within 5 feet and they can still see and hear us, and so long as they do not take damage. For spells this level, we shall pick up Fall Cloud for Ninja Smoke Bombs and Silvery Barbs just to make us a bit more difficult to kill. 3rd level in Wizard means we gain 2nd level spells. To round out our basic Naruto ninja abilities, we will grab Mirror Image and Spider Walk. Combining Mirror Image with our Mastery of Death is a good way to make us seem unkillable, similar to the Izanagi. 15th level and our 4th level in Wizard is our next ability score improvement. We will trade this for the Fey Touched feat, increasing our intelligence to a 14. This gives us a free casting of Misty Step each long rest, as well as the Hunter's Mark spell. This is a bit more of an abstract use. I'm going to use this to represent Danzo enhancing his weapons with Wind-style chakra. 16th level, we will gain access to 3rd level spells. We'll pick up Counterspell because we can affect jutsu as they are being cast, but not Dispel Magic because we couldn't dispel the Susanoo. Instead, we'll grab Water Walk to gain the rest of our basic Genin toolset. As a 6th level enchanter, we gain Instinctive Charm. Now when a creature we can see within 30 feet makes an attack roll against us, we can use our reaction to force the creature to make a wisdom save or divert the attack to another creature within range. Danzo would view this as necessary sacrifice of his underlings. For our spells this level, we will grab Haste and Glyph of Warding. Haste to just better enhance our own melee monk abilities, and Glyph of Warding because it just seems like someone as cautious as Danzo would probably have his own hideout littered with these things in case of emergency. 18th level means we gain 4th level spells. We'll be going all in on our Sharingan representation and picking up Arcane Eye and Charm Monster. 19th level and our 8th level in Wizard is our final ability score improvement. While I would love to use this to boost our wisdom or intelligence, there is one last thing we need. We will pick up the Metamagic Adept feat. You need 2 Metamagic options, pick whatever you like for the second. The one we mainly want is Subtle Spell, making it so we can cast our enchantment spells without verbal or somatic components. For our spells this level, we'll grab Confusion and Summon Elemental. Confusion maybe to represent a Genjutsu, and Summon Elemental for our Giant Wind Elephant. 20th level, the capstone of our build, is our 5th level spells. We'll be grabbing Dominate Person and Modify Memory. Both of these are probably our best representations of using the Koto Amatsukami. We won't be using them very often, but when we will use them it will be to great effect, especially combined with Subtle Spell. End result sees us with an AC of 17 and an average of 104 hit points. Be with our hands, a dagger, or short sword, we will average 9 damage a hit and 19 damage a round with extra attack. With Flurry of Blows, we can average 38 damage a round. Not bad for someone our age, I imagine. A timely casting of Hunter's Mark could also net us an additional 7 damage a round. On top of this, we are also incredibly mobile. We have a 50-foot movement speed and 2 free teleports to each long rest with our Misty Step and Blessings of the Raven Queen. Our mastery of death and a casting of mirror image will be very difficult to put down permanently. Outside of combat, we can use our enchantment abilities to help in social situations. Just be careful not to forget which spells allow the target to be aware of the casting of the spell after it wears off. Finally, our DCs are a bit lower than I'd like, meaning we are more likely to rely on our melee and monk abilities against stronger foes. Keep an eye out for a headband of intellect to boost our wizard DCs. This is 100% an item that Danzo would have. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment your opinions or suggestions for new builds. Please subscribe to the page, check out Patreon for the character sheets, and maybe consider sliding me $1. I hope all your 20s are natural, and I'll see you next time.